Good evening and welcome to Last Man Standing. I'm Dan Hollifield, and tonight we have with us the lovely Stephanie Osborne. And for some reason, Bill is not showing up, so maybe he's having a night off. We will try and function without him. But Stephanie, how you doing?
I'm here. I've been a little bit under the weather today, but I'm functioning. So
Mm,
I
yep.
have a kitty, so
Yes, I see Elron's pretty face. He is a nice boy.
he is a sweet boy, and he is
Hmm.
purring. He's tucked into my side. He's happy. Yes,
And yes, everything is all right in the world of Elrond.
yes, it is.
And Joe Bachman has just joined us. So here we go. Oh, and you're not in the truck.
Nope, I am off tonight.
Hey, well, congratulations. We'll try not to put you to sleep and say hello to your lovely wife for us.
She is actually at work tonight. She is doing the midnight shift with our other coworker.
Mm, my sympathies. I've had to do some night shifts unexpectedly over the last few weeks. And after 5 years on daytime only, night shift was surprisingly easy to slip back into, but my sleep cycle was totally messed up.
Oh yeah.
Uh, get home at 7 in the morning and have to sleep in daylight, and we no longer have the blackout curtains rigged up. Uh, I did not know what to do with myself when I woke up in the afternoon, waiting on going in at 7 p.m. again. So I'm hoping that I will not have to do that very many more times over the next 19 months until I retire. And I have been making it clear there is a countdown clock running. Y'all need me for stuff. You better speak up now. And so far, they're acting like I'm going to be there until Methuselah's age. And I'm going, you, you've got
Boy, they're going to get a shock here soon.
You you've got until February 7th, 2024, and I will not come back unless you call me in as a consultant, and I will charge a hefty fee. And believe me, Jim Rockford is a piker compared to me. It's not it's not going to be $100 a day. It's going to be $1,000 an hour, 5 hour minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
was trying to get the cat expression on the
on the
screen, but
camera,
as soon as I started to move the laptop, he moved. I'm
yeah.
scratching behind his ear, and he thinks this is the greatest thing since canned cat food.
Yep.
Hell, I enjoy that even, but
Well, we'll not talk about your predilection for canned cat food here, but
exactly.
what
Hey,
goes
have
on
you
the
seen the price of tuna lately? I mean, come on.
tuna? Good Lord, roast beef. Let me tell you, I can understand lots of jokes from the '70s, much better nowadays. Um, uh, I tell you, when we go to LibertyCon this week coming up, um, it's going to take 3 tanks of gas.
Ooh.
One to get there, one to get back, and one to continue on with everything else as normal after the weekend is over. So all of that's going to go on my credit card because I didn't pay that sucker off to $200 for nothing. So we're going to edge back up to 20 grand on that thing, but no, slowly. Hey, Mike, Jimmy,
Or
good to
Mike.
see you. Um, enjoy your coffee. I know you just woke up. And let me go over here to the messenger and send him a link as well. And
Yeah, the
hey,
only reason why I'm even still up is I'm technically on call, so
yeah, and it's no good sleeping through the phone.
Oh
So,
no, I'll hear it if my wife calls. That's a different ringtone than all the others.
yeah. I had that on one of my other phones, but not the one I have presently. I did not customize things when I got this one because I figured that I would drop it and break it and have to replace it again. And uh, the only reason we replaced it this time is because it was everything was going to 4G and we had a 2G phone, so it was not going to function anymore.
Yeah.
I
No,
actually
the
got permission from the cell service provider to keep the phone and not turn it in, not sell it or anything, and it's a great camera. I'm gonna use it as just a camera.
mhm.
It's got a little memory card in it, and maybe even an alarm clock. But it's one of those things where device still works. You can't use it as a phone, but it's got lots of other functions.
Mhm.
So when I'm walking around the factory, I can whip that thing out and take pictures or use it as a calculator or whatever. So it is what it is. And there's Mike. Hey, hey.
Morning.
I
Morning,
thought you
Mike.
were going to grab your
Evening.
glasses too.
Mm-hmm. I gotta clean
Oh,
them real bad.
yeah, I run into that. Um, Thankfully, these don't require too much cleaning, but the ones I wear every day do. Um,
Well, I'm kind of annoyed with myself because I found this particular brand of glasses cleaning cloths that I
Mm-hmm.
really love. They do a fantastic job. I had just ordered myself a couple more, and they had just arrived, and I had a friend come over and help me do some declutter of the house in the aftermath of my husband losing my husband. And guess what? I cannot now find.
Mm.
yes. One hopes that they did not vanish in the decluttering.
I don't think so. I just don't know where it got put.
Ugh.
That's the trouble with letting somebody else touch your stuff.
It
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen without help, hon. I am just too broken down to be able to do it all myself.
I understand. I understand. Are you friends with P and Elrod on Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah,
Pat Elrod? Yeah, she's going through a lot of something similar, but because her health is not really good.
yeah.
Um, so she's made a lot of adjustments, and she's got a friend that comes over. Magical Lois, I do believe, is her name, and helps out Pat really well. And Pat and I go way back. It's, not only am I a character in one of your books, but I'm a character in one of her books, and so is Lindsay. So I have a presence in fiction, um, not only as
In
a
addition to
writer, but
writing it,
yeah, not only as a writer, but
well,
evidently, and
nobody claimed you weren't a character, But
and this is more than a red shirt here. I actually speak, so maybe incoherently, which would be normal, but these things they do happen. Uh, I've been reading Jasper Ford books here lately at work because it's the only pleasure reading I get to do is when I'm at work because I'm too busy when I get home. And his Thursday Next series involves the interaction between real world real world characters and literary characters and being able to read yourself into a book and kind of be a background NPC in different works of fiction.
I've never had a
And
problem with that.
hey, hey, and we got Chris in the house too. All right, somebody else can't
Hey.
sleep.
Woohoo!
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, relatively.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
it's 1 a.m. where I am, so it is morning
yeah.
technically.
Well, Mike, we understand you can't sleep because your alarm clock went off.
Well, actually, she did it at 4,
Oh,
and I said I'm having none of that. I gave her a couple of kibbles and then went straight back to bed, and I woke up at 6:45
Mm.
instead, which is a lot better for my mental health.
Uh-huh. Oh,
yeah.
this morning I woke up. I'm not sure what time it was, but I woke up screaming because I had a cat sleeping between my feet,
Hmm.
and cat had reached out and grabbed my foot with claws
Yeah.
and dug in.
Mm.
Mm.
So yeah, that was kind of like, oh
That's no fun.
no.
Yeah. No.
No, no, no.
No.
No, no telling what kind of nightmares that would have generated if it had been slowly happening.
Uh huh.
A little bit of pain, a little bit of pain, a little bit of pain, until a lot
No,
of
this
pain.
was kind of like whap dig.
Shelby doesn't do that to me. She did it once when she was really small, and she pretty much got a kick while I was asleep.
You
Flew across the
invented the
room.
catapult.
Exactly. The problem is she also goes to my mom's place whenever I'm at conventions or something because she lives really close, and it's a very easy fix.
Hmm.
She does do it to my mom still.
Oh
Uh,
dear.
So
Oh
it
dear.
and yeah, every single time that she's over there, my mom moves in her sleep, and the cat is like, "Ooh, toy."
Not good.
No,
No. No. Oh, Mike, is there ever going to be a possibility that we could see you at a convention in the U.S.?
I would love to. The problem, is money and a place to stay.
Obviously. Yeah. Well, I mean, at a convention hotel room, but
Yeah,
money, yeah, money is a big thing because if somebody wanted me to come to a European convention, I'm going to go. Sorry, it's too far to walk.
I mean,
take one step and come up for air. Take another step and come up for
I
air.
remember that episode. Yes.
Well, depending on airfare, I know Hartsfield has flights to the
yeah.
Netherlands. So
Um,
Well, I've been on Dutch Royal Airlines to Gatwick Airport before, and let me tell you, those people know how to fly. That was the most fun I ever had on an airplane, and I'd been on a few before. Uh, although the $4 beer was not welcome, let me tell you.
right. No, when I went to San Diego for a couple of weeks in 2017, 2018, because I stayed over Christmas and New Year's there, there and back cost me around 700 euros,
Mm,
which isn't too bad. And it wasn't the cheapest either, but since I was going to be in a 10-hour flight, I wanted a little bit of leg space
hmm.
because I'm 6'8",
hmm
You're
so
6'8".
I'm 6'8".
Wow.
You
Okay.
and my
I'm
nephew.
as tall as the rack over there.
Wow.
All right.
You're
All right. That blows everything out of the water that happened at Hallowcon when everybody that we know from the shows was walking up to each other and go, "I thought you'd be taller."
Yeah, no, no, no. Every person I meet online and they meet me in real life, like Dave Brink of German Comics, who's a Dutchman too,
Hey.
he's like, "Damn, you're tall."
well. One of my favorite basketball players for the Atlanta Hawks was Dominique Wilkins, and he was
Mhm.
6'8". So you're exactly the same height as he is. And he was referred to as a human highlight reel
Yeah.
because he could do things with a basketball that would amaze you.
Uh,
Well, I finally
Yeah.
have encountered somebody who's taller than my nephew. He's 6'6.5".
Mm.
mm,
There's
So,
a guy I follow on TikTok that he's 7 foot, 7 foot 7'1",
Oh
somewhere in that
man.
area, and he started doing TikToks wearing a GoPro, showing like what it's like walking into a store, going to the dentist office, which was hilarious because he does not fit on that chair.
No, no.
Mm,
The,
yep. When I
the
when I went
biggest.
to get fitted for my dentures, I figured out real quick the chairs that they had in there for you to lay on while the dentist was working on you were made for somebody about 4 foot tall, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I'll I have my own problems going to the chiropractor. So
Yeah.
yeah, they don't make cutouts for the girls.
Mm-hmm.
oh
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that hurts.
yeah,
He's
imagine
on your
so.
back and he's doing this bit.
No, not fun. No,
Yeah.
Not fun.
no,
Mm,
no. My biggest problem usually with how tall I am is just doors, because most doors are like 6'5" when you're in
Mhm.
older houses, maybe
Oh,
maybe even lower.
Yeah.
hmm
so
Um,
right across here, huh?
yeah, exactly. Not to mention table lamps. There isn't a day
Oh,
on my side job where I don't walk into a table lamp.
Mm.
we
But
we have a light switch pull on the ceiling fan and light in the living room, and it's low enough for my wife to reach,
mhm.
and
Mhm.
she's 5'2". So there does not come a day when I walk across the living room and do not bump my head on that
Yeah,
big piece of cut glass that's dangling from a chain. And I'm going,
Ouch.
yep.
you'd think after 16 years I would remember it's there, but no, evidently that datum has not sunk into my concrete brain, you know.
You know what the scariest thing is as a tall person? Meeting someone who's taller than you. You
I can see
do.
that.
It is so weird. Suddenly you're looking up at someone and you're like, my neck isn't made for this.
Now you
Hey,
know how the rest of us
can you
feel.
reach this off the shelf for me?
I'm
I bet
sorry,
you
could you
get
get
asked
that
that a
pallet
lot.
over there?
Oh
No,
Lord.
I'm glad I'm no taller than this, because any taller and you're really starting to get like
Oh yeah,
serious back and neck issues. And I'm
and your
already
feet
feeling my
hurt all
neck.
the time.
Yeah, it's really, really not good for a person. Like, Dutch people are about as tall as humans naturally get. And yeah, you have those even taller, but you always see them like having a crook neck. I mean, I have a crook neck already.
Mm.
Um, Often they have a bent back and everything, and it's like, I'm glad I'm no taller.
Oh, now I
Is Chris having
understand why.
issues?
Yeah, Chris is obviously having issues. His connection is
Yeah.
not working real well. He
He's
said
dodgy today.
he said when he was trying to get into Stupid O'Clock that he had to reboot the computer a couple of times in order to get it to work. But no, no. Now, Mike, I understand why Dutch barges on the British canals are so freaking huge. They are the
We have to
roomiest boats
accommodate.
I've ever seen. Oh Lord, I would love one of those things, but they're like 20 feet wide, 50 feet long, and about 8 foot tall. Oh
We have to
Lord,
accommodate. We're tall. Yeah.
yeah. But
You know
now
what?
I understand much better.
The number one joke that I hear about Dutch people, the reason we're so tall, is that we always stay above water whenever the dike, if ever the dikes break. To which my
Oh,
American ex,
there's.
of course, said, "Oh, so you're afraid of of emotionally breaking down lesbians?"
I'm
But
glad you said that because I wasn't going to go there. But
I did.
oh, there's a green room joke you could tell one time. Yeah. We won't go there.
I almost reached over for my little green room scorecard and everything I have on OBS here, just out of habit.
Yep,
Oh,
I
boy.
remember your most frequent post from the green room is a Jesus has just left the chat. There you go. Oh, we do cut up a lot in there because that's what it's for.
Yeah,
It's one of those chances to where it's not being recorded. It'll never be recorded,
yeah,
and if you're lucky,
Nobody
nobody will
outside the
ever.
group can see it.
If
yeah.
you're lucky, nobody else in the group will remember it the next day, except Carl and Donna do take notes. I mean,
They
For the
really do.
hashtags.
yes,
Oh, yeah. Hashtag
hashtag
Dan is
Dan is
evil.
evil. Uh, oh, there are things that I won't let myself say there because I want to keep my friends. Um, but there are smart ass remarks that enter my brain and do not exit my mouth. Let me tell you, there is some self
Hmm.
censorship going on there,
Mhm.
and it's probably why I limp when I walk sometimes. It's a heavy load to bear. Uh, oh Lord, but yeah, I have read the Evil Overlord list. I know the rules. Um, oh, there may be people that have never heard of the Evil Overlord lists. Ah,
I've had
there's
the Diary of an Evil Overlord. It was an independent book as well. It was very badly edited, but it was hilarious.
there is um, several web pages that detail the list of rules for a successful evil overlord and a successful hero as well, and evil overlord's daughter, evil overlord's wife, and all these things. It just goes. It's like 10 or 12 different lists of things,
Nice.
and they go on and on and on, and it. I swear, if you get started, you're going to lose an entire weekend trying to read all these things, and it makes you. It for people who are writers like Stephanie and I, it makes you think about some of the tropes that have become common
Yeah.
and how inappropriate some of them are or can be, and how to flip them on their head. Um, but I wish I had that linked on this browser because I would pull that up and put that in the chat as a little banner going across the bottom. But if you just Google evil overlord lists, you should be able to find them. At one time, that website totally disappeared, and somebody wound up. They had archived it, so
Good.
it became available again. Those are highly entertaining, and I very highly recommend them. Those are great fun. Those are great fun. Uh, if you think of things like uh, um, Ming the Merciless would not do this, or Ming the Merciless did this and it was a dumb idea. That's what these lists detail. Is the evil overlord? Let's do things the right way so that we succeed and the hero fails.
You get a bit of mastermind in there.
Yeah, I think they wrote that after somebody read this
I wouldn't
website.
be surprised, honestly.
Hey, it almost writes itself. I swear. It's like have you ever looked up um okay, you've got to be familiar with Terry Pratchett's Discworld stuff.
Yes, I am. Very much.
Have you ever looked up L space, library space, basically?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Same sort of thing. Same sort of thing. Uh Geared more general fiction rather than Pratchett.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wasted I didn't waste. I spent many a pleasurable hour in L space looking up this list and this quotation and that quotation. Um, Pratchett has always been one of my favorite writers,
Yes.
uh, uh, and I had never been so sad as to when his publisher stopped sending me Discworld books to review. Um, but I got loads of them at one time, and it was I got to see things before it was released to the
Oh
public.
man.
Yeah, and I'm going, oh, if Terry had only signed these this would be this bookshelf would be a gold mine. Let me tell you.
Yes.
But and I got sent Jasper Ford's first 5 or 6 books for reviews, and a lot of other folks had sent me stuff. I mean, I've got a whole shelf up above my head that the camera is not tilted to where you could see, but and about half of them were autographed because the writer themselves sent them to me rather than the publisher.
Wow.
Yeah, but well, I did book reviews for about 4 years, maybe 5 years, and I ran out of ways to say, "This is great, go buy it."
Fair enough. Yeah.
Hey, now I still post occasional reviews on Amazon for people who have
That
really
reminds me,
earned
I
it.
have to write a review for Daphne Lage. I got an advanced review copy of Ego Raven, the first volume. I got to go over that because I started rereading it, but then life got in the way,
Mhm.
and that's been 3 months. Darn it.
Well, yeah, my publisher has been sending me stuff by other writers that he publishes, and I'm going, dude, I don't have time. You want me to finish the other 3 books I'm under contract for, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I, Stephanie, I have another Spaceport Bar book of my own that I have to write. I've got the fantasy book, which is not my genre, that I have to finish, and they want me to collect Spaceport Bar stories that other people wrote and edit the anthology. Plus,
Yeah,
Good luck
that's a lot of
there.
at
work.
least I've got at least 2 more Tom Darby books I want to write. That's and those are not under contract yet, but I've turned in the prequel. Scott, get busy. Oh, I was hoping that that one would come out before LibertyCon, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen because there's a whole lot of editing and um, read and bleed suggestions by other authors that are reading and acting as somebody outside my head to tell me when I lost track of the thread for individual stories and things. So a lot of that's still going to have to happen before that can come to fruition. But
Well, I'd hope to have a couple more books out by Liberty, and obviously that's not happening. So,
well, that's
Yeah.
understandable. You had a traumatic event go on.
yeah, but that doesn't pay the bills, and now it's just me paying the bills. So,
Mm,
Yeah.
well, uh, I'm not going to nag. Um, I mean, seriously, you and I have some shared experiences, so yeah, I understand exactly what's going on. It took me quite a while to recover from that loss, and I had a lot of help from unexpected sources, and wound up in a much better situation than I'd ever been in before. But I don't think that is anywhere near applicable to what you are facing. So, um, you know, I'll be I'll be there for you as often as I am able and to the best of my ability anytime. So, you know, hugs and all. Uh, oh, um, okay. I keep seeing messenger stuff flashing up. So here we go. You get
Yeah, Chris is not able to get back in here, but Chris and I are having meme wars. And
okay. Okay. Yes,
Oh boy.
you are multitasking. Okay.
yes.
Uh,
So if you
well,
see me over here giggling over something that doesn't make any sense to the conversation, chances are it's one or the other of us came up with something really funny.
okay. I won't think that I just said something totally stupid,
Nope.
but I probably will. Keep watching, folks. It's only a matter of time.
Did I
Oh,
share the intro with you guys yet? With the music Dan made over it.
you
I'm not sure.
did on Stupid O'Clock Thursday, but not here.
Well, I can,
Oh, this is
because I absolutely love what you did.
Joe. You've never seen it before. Stephanie has seen it Thursday night, but it is one of those things where let's see. I will add it to the stream. I don't know if you have to hit play or if I do, but
No, I gotta hit play. It's just
okay.
a video player, so.
Oh, you forgot to share the sound.
Oh, darn it! Of course. Ugh.
Let-
Okay. Restarting. Stop sharing. Share. Click. Yeah. Now there we go.
Okay.
Whoops. There we are. And then the last few seconds are just title cards, so that's going to be a lower volume. And yeah, I
Oh,
I like
love
it.
it, man.
I like it.
Yeah.
That is just great stuff. Now I
Well,
gotta get on to really animating it.
I did my best, and I'm glad people enjoy it, and I'm glad you like it because that's what's important.
No, it's great, man.
So,
It's absolutely great.
um, it was fun. I did have a little bit of problem because the program I used to write the music had done an upgrade,
Hmm.
and the dashboard looks nothing like it used to.
Of
So
course.
I had to go and try and find every button and switch to get things to work. It was
Why do all of the software developers have to do that? It's like
yeah.
they have
Yeah.
established a user interface. Why do you go and shuffle it all up?
Mhm.
Well, I think in the development department, as part of their motto, if it's not broken, we will break it on the next update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta have things to fix, so we might as well break it now.
Yeah, job
Yeah.
security.
If
We need
if
to
it's
keep our
not
jobs.
broken, we'll break it.
I'll break
If-
something.
If it's not, if it's
Really,
not
that's-
broken, wait for version 1.1.
That was
It's the
exactly
never-ending
my
fix.
feeling when I looked at the dashboard after the update goes, and I go, "Where are the controls?"
Where am I? I have no memory of this place.
I still cannot find where I set the beats per minute of an individual piece.
Wow.
I had a perfectly good saxophone part that was like slow motion compared to everything else. I had to redo the whole thing twice trying to get things to fit
Oh,
in the time signature. And before I could, hey, 140, 150, 170, whatever. 180 beats per minute is not a good time signature to be using if you're making stuff that people will listen to in an
hmm
automobile
yeah.
because you will get them arrested. They will be going pedal to the floor.
I wonder if that's what most of the people are listening to going through my job site.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. Um, I had an entire album that I wish to God I had slowed down, but I put a disclaimer on it. If you get a speeding ticket, I ain't paying it.
Actually, the background I have is actually of my job site, and I think it's one of the few pictures where you do not see any vehicles on I-94. The vehicles
That-
you do see farther off in the background are on Klein Avenue.
mm, well, I think that the reason you don't see them is because they're moving faster than light.
That is a good possibility, also. Yes.
What's your top speed? Yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
Waking up is hard.
it's the weekend.
yes.
I'll let you know when I manage it.
Well, waking up. I mean, I got this much work ready for the today, and I already did a ton yesterday, which is really nice. But yeah, next week I'm gonna launch the Radiant site on Kickstarter, so that is coming.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a double launch party because I also publish The Singular by Marv, and yeah, we're gonna do a double launch party at the next Sketchy Saturday.
All right.
Cool.
Well, you've been working really hard. It's about time you started
Well, that's
reaping
the
some
thing. The only
rewards.
thing I'm doing is publishing and lettering it.
Nita, hello.
Hello,
I don't.
sweetheart.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
Hmm.
Gets weird.
Definitely. Now it's not often that Nita joins us, even in the comments, but that
hmm
anytime we get to spend with you, honey, is time well spent. Let me tell you. Um, and if hey, it's late night, I can send her a link. That'll be
Yeah,
entertaining,
Nita is
wouldn't
always
it?
fun. Nita is
Oh,
one of the voice
fun.
actors for the Laugh and Cora pilot.
There was someone else that we know that was talking about it. Oh, you're Ginger? No, no, no.
No. I came along voluntarily. They promised cookies. There wasn't any
Well, the
chocolate
dark
in it,
side
so
and
it
all
wouldn't have
that,
any
yeah.
allergies.
mm. Silver tongued devil I am. I got him convinced to come on the show.
Hey, you want to come out? Sure.
You're awake. Hey, we're on the air.
That's essentially how it always goes. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Let me put on a shirt. Yeah, that's what I have to tell Joe Dog every time we're about to start stupid o'clock. Let me put on a shirt. Oh,
I
Well,
literally
he's
walked in, right? I turned on my PC, had my coffee ready, and you instantly sent a link, and I'm like, let me grab a shirt and put on my glasses because.
hey, you commented on stupid o'clock. That's all it takes.
Fair enough.
Oh no, Nita, you don't need clothes. Well,
Well,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
yes, you did.
Damn it! There was a camera going, wasn't there?
Yep.
Ah,
Whoops.
but Jesus
Thank-
Christ has left the chat.
that that is the most frequent slide that Joe uses in the green room. Let me tell you,
I'm
with
not
good reason.
surprised.
With
Uh,
good reason.
Oh boy.
well, it's normally either that one. This one has been coming up a lot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Dumpster
Mhm.
fire.
That one does come up a lot. I normally enter with this one.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm still trying to decide whether or not that's the clip from the movie about um, the fellow from Hogan's Heroes getting murdered. Because he's in that one as the main suspect, actually.
Well, that was kind of like a demon possessed there. I was like,
Well, um, if you're not familiar with California in the '60s, I would recommend that you do not watch that movie. It's
point.
it's one of those things where uh, there was a lot of stuff going on that the rest of the world probably would have been better off not knowing about.
Most
Sounds like another
likely.
Tuesday.
Hey, um, Holly Weird was not called that for any trivial reason.
No. And it's still not called that for a trivial reason.
Yep. Spoke to Larry Niven last week or first Saturday of this month. There is still no word as to when or if a Ringworld movie or TV series will get out of development hell. It's been optioned multiple times over the years, and nobody seems to know how to make it work.
Hmm.
And we are trying, we are praying desperately that it will be treated with respect, because Larry deserves it. There was a
What
couple of
I
words I
find,
edited out there, but
what I usually find when it comes to epic sci-fi and fantasy stories is that you very quickly, like, because movies and movies especially have to be self-contained. So
hmm
having a beginning, middle, end over several books just doesn't work when you have to really push it. Like you would get like the Bakshi Lord of the Rings, you know,
yes,
and that's where when I'm like try and often especially now like 3D or 2D animation would be better for those things. Just like they are more expensive to create, but you do have the space and the like if you put it into a series like that you will be able to hit the story beats a lot better because you have that openness and a lot
hmm
more creative freedom. You don't have to worry about complete sets that have to be created. You can do
Oh,
that all in a 3D space.
excuse me. And the special effects that would be involved in a ring world style shot. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're
hmm
inside it, I mean, that's
yeah,
an exterior shot is a special effects shot for something
Yeah.
like that. Every
and
single one.
it's going to be huge. The consensus among the fans in the chat group are that it would be much better served to introduce it with, um, say, um, a series of adaptations of the known space stories that gradually lead up to Ringworld. That way, you get introduced to all of the characters that would be involved, and the
Yeah.
the major history, and the audience would understand things by the time it got so
Yeah.
far as to when Ringworld came up, and try not to condense the entire series of Ringworld novels into one movie, because that ain't gonna work. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd be able to give like 15 minutes per novel in a 2 hour
Yeah.
movie. That's
Th-
just not gonna. That
That's
the
not
fans
how.
are not gonna like
No.
that. You're
No.
not gonna
It's
sell a lot of tickets.
no. And at that
And if
point,
it's
like
not done
most books.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mo-
Um,
most most books on their own work as a movie. You can compact that as a movie because
mhm.
90% of the prose is not going to be dialogue, it's going to be setting, usually. So you can condense that
Yep.
and you can make it work. But then you would need something like, what they did with the Harry Potter series. Like every book is its own movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That is expensive. And if you're not the number one bestseller at the time, you're not going to get that, sadly.
Well, and it's more than that because even many of the Harry Potter books got bigger as they went on. The word count got
Yes.
bigger,
Mhm.
and so there's tons of stuff that in which one was it? Um,
Well,
oh, I
basically
can't
anything
remember,
after
but
the
there,
fourth book,
Yeah.
yeah, and I can't
anything
remember
after the
which
fourth book needed to be two movies.
Mhm.
which book was it that was the house elf liberation thing that
Oh,
Hermione did. That
I
that whole subplot got dropped in the movies. They didn't even touch it.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think that
that was
is, yeah, 4 and 5. I think it's been a long time for me, and I never been that much into Harry Potter. Um, my sister watched it religiously, so I had to watch every single movie. Like she would literally watch it every single week and binge all of them.
I I found the first four books as a Scholastic Books edition.
Hmm.
And I thought, "Oh yeah, this is kid stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And I went, "Well, at this price, give it a shot." Yeah, the
Yeah.
movies had never been made. I mean, it was just books at this time. And I started reading it and I go, "Hey, this ain't bad. This is
Hmm.
pretty damn good." And it got better and better and more complicated as it goes on. And speaking of more complicated, here's Nita.
Hey, hey, good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning. It was Goblet of
Morning.
Fire.
Was it?
Yeah, okay,
Goblet of
book
I was
Fire.
four.
trying to remember it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I actually I saw the movies first, the first couple of movies, and it was like okay, that's it because at first I was like, oh, it's just kids books,
Right.
Yeah.
and then I saw the first movie, and I was like, I want to get my hands on the book. And so I read the first
Mhm.
book, and then Daryl was like, "Okay, let's go."
And then all of a sudden we were lined up at midnight at Barnes and Noble every fucking time a book was
Oh,
released.
Yeah,
the
No,
really,
I
main.
didn't do
believe me.
that.
Yeah.
We did. Oh my god. And my son's name was almost Severus. Thank God the drugs wore off.
Ha!
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh Lord,
Okay,
yeah.
you made
Well,
me
let's see.
giggle snort.
the
I
movies
went at that. I
really.
went at it exactly opposite. I found the books and go, "Oh, this is kid stuff," and then I went, "Well, at this price, why not?" And gave it a read. The movies had never been made at that
Yeah.
time, and I went, "Okay, I'm here's my money. Take my money. Where's the next one?" It's like Stephanie's books. Take my money.
I mean,
Seriously. And
my
Well,
sister.
Stephanie's books would be those that would be difficult to do justice to as movies because they would try and condense stuff
Mm.
really. I mean,
Mhm.
seriously, and you don't get the overlapping. Um, this will pay off 2 books from now, sort of
yeah.
plots that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Stephanie does. 3 books, 4 books from now. Um,
Well, I create each book is standalone, but there's an overall character arc
Yeah.
as the characters develop and the relationships between the characters develop. So,
And you put some of them through hell too.
well, yeah, because I mean, let's face it.
Nothing is sacred.
Yeah, and some jobs are more dangerous than others too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, well, if you make it easy, it's not going to be entertaining.
right.
Exactly.
They've
There's
got to struggle.
and there's nothing vested in it for the reader either. I think if it's too easy, there's
If
no
it's
there's no dramatic tension.
if it's too easy, you're writing a comic book.
Hey, writing a comic book is not easy because you have to leave so much out and so much up to your artist.
Mm-hmm.
I will
No,
fight you.
no I mean,
Playground
I
at
mean,
3, Dan.
if you make it too easy for the characters,
Mm.
overpowered Superman sort of thing.
Oh,
Um,
Well,
that's if superheroes are your bag.
yeah,
yeah,
because I am very much a graphic novel person. They don't have it easy.
Mm-mm.
They go through hell and back several times, usually over like 160 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It's it goes a lot deeper than that.
I had 200 pages of prose I had to turn into a 28-page story. That
Yeah,
was
good
some
luck
shit.
have
and
fun.
you've got to remember my comic book collection was way back in the day when you were lucky to get 20 pages between the with ads
Right?
interspersed.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
there were always Deus ex machinas that suddenly cropped
Yeah,
up on
mhm,
the next to the last page that resolved everything.
Right?
mhm.
that doesn't slide anymore
Not
nowadays.
anymore.
Nope,
No.
nope. Modern day comic books are nothing like they were back in the 50s and 60s. I'll tell you that.
Well,
And
thank God for Image.
Ah,
yeah, graphic novels are even more so. That it's a whole new art form, but it
yeah.
is still sequential art storytelling,
Oh, for
and
sure.
that is a
Um.
fabulous field, and one that I am very jealous not to possess the ability to enter. That it's just not my. It's not my. I can't think that way. I think in movie scenes.
Mhm.
Well, here's
Um,
the
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? I have plenty of the graphic novels in my collection that were movies that got cancelled and got turned into a graphic novel
And
instead.
continued that way.
Um,
mhm.
and they flow like a movie, and you can really feel it in there. Like you can, they're self-contained. They're really strong in their movie aesthetics because they were a screenplay. And they really work like that, and they pull you in the same way a movie does. You just got to read the dialogue instead of hearing it.
Or
Yeah,
are you referring to having issues with writing for the script because there are certain things that you cannot do in a
Hmm.
still media that you could do in motion?
Yeah.
this is true.
Mhm.
This is
This is what
true.
I'm
And if
finding
that's the
with
case,
animation too.
the best way to go with that is if you want something and you have the money for an artist, which anyway,
Hmm.
you can always find someone who will script out your stuff and know what they're doing. It's just
Yeah. And one of my writers, when I started comics, when I did Infinite Guardian, which is a discontinued series because the writing wasn't all that great, and I
right.
had a lot to edit, and I only got $20 a page. To which I said, "Screw that."
Mm,
Um, he wrote movie scripts, and I had to edit them into comic scripts.
right.
And I was pretty good at
Ooh,
it.
that sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a
No,
challenge
it's
right
I've done
there.
that with a few. It was actually relatively easy if
yeah,
if, if you're
Oh
that
wow.
familiar
is
if you're familiar with the comic medium.
yes. You have to be familiar with the medium, but it's not as hard as it sounds. Um, but yeah, it takes understanding how to make a page layout. Like it takes understanding making a comic. But between the two, they're very interchangeable. There's plenty of comic writers that will just use a screenplay script as a base, and the artist can work around it any way they want. And it's actually very nice because you get so much more freedom
Okay.
when it comes to the pages compared to page one, panel this, that, and another.
Yeah.
Either works. It's just a matter of preference.
So you're basically thinking in storyboards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the way I work, but I have been called a very visual writer, and maybe
Likewise.
somebody could do something with that. But the fantasy novel, I live in fear that somebody's going to want to turn that into a comic book. I mean, I seriously live in fear, and I've discussed that with Jody McPhee, and he's going, well, if you're not comfortable doing, I mean, you can turn out the prose, but if you're not comfortable with doing it yourself, you'd have to find somebody you can trust to do the adaptation. And I'm going, dude, I can build worlds all day long. When it comes to scripting out panels, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got all three of them,
Oh,
and they are
Nice.
each great in their own right because
yes.
You
That one
don't-
right there is the hardest Pratchett for me to read. I'm not saying
I
anything
get
else.
why.
Yeah. That one is the hardest novel for me to read of everything in the Discworld series. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's much more serious, basically, even though it has comedic moments. And I don't really know how to put it in words.
You
Past
want
that.
comedic moments?
Yes, and I've read Thud, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I was surprised they actually did that, but then again, why wouldn't they?
Well, folks, it's about 1 a.m. and I've been in this chair for 6.5 hours now. So,
Holy crap.
Oh,
the
Yeah, I'm thinking about
interest of
calling
making
it.
sure my legs actually still work, I'm going to say goodnight.
Good night.
good night,
night,
Joe.
Joe. And I'm seriously thinking about doing the same thing because I've been a little under the weather today. My digestive tract has not been happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Discworld
Mhm.
Imaginarium.
Mm-hmm.
This is
So,
a big book, and I haven't opened it yet because I'm scared.
So basically, what you're saying is, Stephanie, that Elrond is telling you it's time to go to bed.
Not quite yet, but yeah, getting close. Because it's 1 o'clock here also, so
Mm-hmm.
I know it's later there, but
Oh, it's 2 o'clock here, but I don't have to be at work until Monday.
Woohoo. I'm at work.
So,
all right. Well, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all. I'll see you, Dan, at the convention, and I'll see the rest of y'all when I get back.
Good night.
Good night.
Sweetheart.
good night, Stephanie, and thank you. So far, this has been one of the best shows we've ever done for Last Man Standing, and
You're welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
no, I was about to say thank you. I mean, seriously, you've never been on the show before,
Yes, I
even though you
have.
commented a couple. You
Yes, I
have?
have. Twice. I'm my third
Twice?
time, man. Jesus Christ.
Damn, I must have been really drunk at the time.
Maybe.
That is entirely possible.
Let's hope so. I intend to make it. I intend to make that a habit. Let me take 3 steps and get another beer here. So,
There we go.
Yeah,
ah,
my gummy worms and rain energy drink breakfast.
oh,
Coffee.
well, my wife went to bed hours ago and left me unsupervised. So, ah,
Yeah, C's in there snoring.
we don't
I
even have a
woke up,
cat in the
kids
house
were
right
awake.
now.
I'm like,
So,
what the fuck?
ah, now that's been the biggest problem about planning to go to the first convention we've gone to live in 2 years
Mm,
is finding somebody to come and feed the cats. Um, and before that, the dogs were still alive. So,
mm.
uh, yeah, well, uh, our lifespans are so much longer than theirs.
Hmm.
But you give them the best they can, the best you can, and they know they were loved, and
Exactly.
uh, there's a cycle to everything, and eventually cycles end, and you remember, and you have to keep going.
Yeah.
So there you are. Uh, it's one of those things where life sometimes stops being fun for a while, and
Yes.
Oh yeah.
you got to pick up the pieces and keep going. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that right now.
Hmm.
I understand completely. Yes, and that's one of the things that where I've been um, able to, well, I wouldn't want to say help, but being able to support Stephanie in the same sort of situation she's gone through, because I
Right.
went through it a long time ago myself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, about 17 years ago now. So I got really lucky and um, found, well, not found, but managed to.
Catch another fish.
No, no. One of my oldest and dearest online friends and I, about a year after my second wife died, we struck up a romance, which had never attempted before because we were both with other people, and
Right.
um, if we were unwilling to fool around with each other, then we would be unwilling to fool around on each other. And
Right.
here
Yeah.
we go, 16 years later, it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. And she's going, yeah, 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 it's all right.
All right. What?
Yeah, it works. Whatever.
Yeah, got rid of the damn stalker
It's
out climbing up the
okay.
ivy outside my apartment window and all that. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I miss my stalker. I wonder how he's doing sometimes.
Um,
I'm bored now.
That is called Stockholm syndrome.
Well, whatever.
20
I
to
miss
life
the
is
adrenaline. You
20
mother.
to life is what he's doing right now.
Peeping Tom.
Oh no. No. She was having this problem with a guy that was trying to break into her apartment. And he even went so far as to climb up 3 stories up an ivy covered wall to try and get in through her apartment window.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
outside her apartment door trying to sweet talk her into opening the door, and she's far too smart for that shit.
What in the hell is
And
wrong
the
with
Wow.
cops were
people?
going, "Oh yeah, yeah, we know you."
Hmm.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were not very good, not a very effective police department, shall we say?
No.
And we had known each other for about 10 years in an unsolved mysteries chat room, and
Oh, that was an
I mean,
interesting chat.
oh yeah, yeah, we talked about all kinds of serial killers,
Oh,
over the years.
Ooh, you might like
Mostly,
Lucifer Storm's new books.
well, it was mostly Jack the Ripper, but
Mm.
um, since that's one of those unsolvable mysteries, the chat room branched out into other stuff, and you know, in any case, she was having problems with this random idiot,
Mm-hmm.
and we were texting back and forth. Didn't even have each other's phone numbers at the time, and I popped up one night when she'd had a particularly bad night, and I go, "Do I need to rescue you?"
Aw.
Mm.
And she came back with, "Let me think about it."
Oh wow.
Yep. And about a week later, she said, "Does that offer still hold?" And I go, "Look, we've never met each other. If you want to come out here, no strings attached. If you
You're
decide that
being
it's
a
not going to
gentleman.
work, I will help you find a job. I will help you find an apartment,
Yeah.
and we'll try and maintain the friendship. No hard feelings if it don't work."
Yeah.
And um, she UPS me uh, two huge boxes of her belongings
Nice.
instead of letting me take a bus out there and rent a U-Haul to bring all her stuff back here. She got on a Greyhound and spent 3 days riding here. So she traveled 2,000 miles on a Greyhound bus.
Wow.
On
That's my
some,
favorite way to travel, though.
well,
It gives me
to
time to
to meet
think.
somebody she'd never actually seen in the flesh before.
Mm-hmm.
And she had seen photographs of me, but they were old photographs that weren't all that flattering. I mean, look what you got to work with. But
Shut up.
she got off the bus and she goes, "I knew it was you because you were the only one levitating." And I was when the bus pulled up. When the bus pulled up, I stood up from the bench I was sitting on, and I straightened up, and I straightened up, and I straightened up, and at the end, I was actually taller than Mike,
Oh wow.
but my feet weren't touching the ground, so I cheated, and I took her around Athens, just showing her, that this is where we're gonna be able to come and visit the shops, and uh, these are the places that it's fun to go to, and these are the historic sites and this sort of thing, and brought her back to the house, and I cooked her a spaghetti dinner, and uh, like I joke about, I almost forgot the garlic bread, but I remembered at the last moment. So uh, and after that night, we have been together ever since, and
What you cooked for her, that's all it
it's
takes sometimes.
Mhm.
hey, like I said, it's been the best thing that's ever happened in my life.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Um,
how I got introduced to my last ex too. Didn't work out the same way though, because she's gone now. Thank fuck.
Thank
But hey,
thank
it got
God,
me a
Greyhound,
company and it
she's
got me a
gone. Yeah.
publisher.
It did. It did.
Hey,
Hmm. The thing, like the reason I'm called Fairies and Ents is my publishing company is because I'm 6'8", she's 4'6",
Oh wow.
so you get a fairy and an ent.
I'm just a tad
mm,
taller than her.
Yeah,
This is a tad, and I'll shrink eventually. So yay, I win.
I got back problems kissing her.
Oh jeez.
She was a perfect height though.
Oh no.
not
I
touching
know
that
you're
line.
talking about. I know you're talking about to set a can on, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
This is not the green room. I'm not going there. Uh,
oh my gosh, you guys! I
ah,
did the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life last week. We got
Oh Lord.
invited.
Oh,
Yeah, Daphne and I got invited to go on Mark Torres's radio show. And
Yeah, I
like,
saw
if
that.
you listen to me ever, like, you just don't invite me places, man. I'm not a public friend. You don't take me home to mom. And the very first thing he says, or the last thing he says, not the first, the last thing he says before we go live is, remember, no cussing. It's a $10,000 fine. And
Wow.
my brain was like, fuck, shit, damn, fuck. Like, and then it's like I had to think. You watch it and you really think
Wow.
I was very special because I was very slow to answer. I thought about every word that had to come out of my mouth.
Yeah. Oh my
self-editing is
God.
such a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Oh my God. And then even doing that, I almost dropped one F-bomb and I almost said asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I came really close to saying asshole because that one comes so
Well,
natural.
that's why I don't want my show to be monetized. I don't
Oh,
care
I'm not
what
worried about
anybody says.
it.
And well, as Mike may be able to testify, uh, in the green room, I say questionable things,
I've been in the
which you
green
would
room with
probably
I was gonna
enjoy.
say,
Yeah,
you
I
guys.
know.
I've
I
been
haven't
in
been in
there.
the green room before. Like
You
I only
haven't?
got into the group like 2 weeks ago, but I can't
Oh,
find it.
Carl will send the links on
Mm,
Friday.
Yeah, no, I
mhm.
know, but I literally can't find it.
Hmm.
Like it doesn't allow me to go in.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's
if
a
if
browser problem.
if you look at the Secret Humor group on Friday nights, there's usually a post where you can just click and get
Yeah,
in.
it doesn't show the link for
Now,
me.
some people have that problem, and it may be that
You might need a
your
personal link.
ISP
I've
is
had to,
editing things of that.
right? I've
Yeah,
had to
Yeah.
have them direct message me links before. For some reason, it made a difference to link through Messenger than off of Facebook.
Yeah.
I think this is directed at you
Thank you,
Yep.
Chris.
because I haven't done anything for Chris to be proud of. Let me tell you.
It was rough. And it was a whole hour, too. Oh, my gosh.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no.
Um,
I
Oh,
have
and
so
then,
much trouble on Luke's show.
oh, gosh, I won't even go on there. And I love
No,
Luke, but it ain't happening.
I
I
really
don't belong there.
try. Here's the
I'm,
thing.
I'm surprised he agreed to be on my network.
oh,
Yeah, no, honestly, like because I finally have cousins like a niece and a nephew, so I have to be quiet around that. So I'm
hmm
kind of getting into okay, let's keep this PG.
I have kids, and out there it's different. But I sit here, and it's like I got to let it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah, no.
yes.
It's
Um, when you are free to be yourself, it's the most glorious feeling. When you
yes.
have to self-edit for someone else's rules, it can be a real struggle
it's
sometimes.
why
Mm-hmm.
I usually
Because,
decline interviews. Like I won't go on other people's shows.
well, for myself, I've worked uh 45 years in a factory. Industrial language is something I am very fluent in.
I'm a Navy baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
you and I have we have a not a connection, but we have a parallel there. The same thing. Um,
I worked in
matter of
construction
fact,
for
that
5 years. I know every single one in the book.
uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Made a
I
I
even
couple
learned
visited
myself.
you.
I even learned a few in sign language
Yes.
from a deaf friend.
There you go.
Multitasking. Um, oh, if you could do that in an interview, just kind of wave your hands and cuss like a sailor with your fingers,
Well,
and
the good thing is it wouldn't have been
it,
flagged there because the video went to YouTube. It was a radio show, which made me nervous anyway.
mm,
It's like
Mm-hmm.
because I hate my voice. And it's like God, these people don't get to see my face, but they get to hear the hic.
Well, you're
Yeah,
gonna
your
have a hard
voice is
time with the
fine.
Lava Core pilot. The good thing is you're gonna be a creature this big, and it's gonna be adorable.
As long as you don't slow me down like Meredith did when she tricked me into doing that advertisement. She's like, "Can you read that script to me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Hey, I need you to record it because I'm gonna need to listen to it a couple times." And then the next thing I know, she used it in an advertisement, and I'm like, "Are you kidding?" And then she slowed me down to where, like, I know I have a draw, I accept it, it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but she slowed it down to where it was like, there's one line in there, it was like full of ancient mysteries and psychic vampires, and it just drew out like it was awful. And I
Love
had to
it.
listen to that thing every day for 30 days while that campaign ran.
No, the storyboard is done, so you can pretty much go over it. Be below every single cell. It says who is saying something, and you will be toy fun. And so that means that, worst of all, you like jokes, you like messing around with people, and you're adventurous.
Yeah, well,
See, this is why I chose
Hey.
you.
it works.
It
Typecasting.
works.
Oh Lord.
But as far as monetization, Dan,
Question.
you can't win on YouTube. Don't even
No.
bother trying. Every one of my shows is flagged
I
right
don't.
now.
I don't
I'm like,
care.
I don't need your
What
ad
I want,
monetization.
what I want is for my shows not to have any ads
That's it.
ever.
Yeah,
I,
just
you know,
enjoy it.
this is conversation. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to sell somebody anything. And
Mine, I do
well,
intend to
now
sell
I'm
people stuff, and affiliate links will come in handy. But as far as YouTube's ads running and them monetizing
No.
off of us, nah. I make sure we
No.
say extra
no
dirty
no.
shit sometimes just so they'll send me a copyright or play something just so I can get a copyright claim. And now they're claiming Sketchy Saturday too.
What?
That
Oh,
intro comes off of a copyright free site, and now they're taking it. They're claiming it every week.
What?
my outro for this show has gotten several copyright strikes from some idiot who is probably a bot, but still an idiot,
Yeah.
uh, trying to claim that they own a NASA astronomy photograph from 27
Wow.
years ago.
Oh my gosh. I hate
And
people.
I have successfully defended it twice, but the bot never gives up.
So the problem with that
They
is
have
that
withdrawn their.
the
Go ahead.
problem there is that someone probably used that same picture
Mm-hmm.
and manipulated it and copyrighted that. And so the base
Well, the
picture,
thing
they
is,
can, yeah. It,
the thing
they
is, the original photograph is like poster size,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I used something about stamp sized
Mm-hmm.
out of one corner or out of the middle of it, and they're trying to claim they recognize that particular group's ours as being
Mm-hmm.
their copyright. And I'm going, well,
Oh my
unless you happen
gosh.
to crop the same area, the same photograph that I did, NASA
Yeah.
owns that, and I freely admit NASA owns that, and it was
Mm.
on a Creative Commons. It was free to use. I
Right.
basically have their permission, and
Yeah.
they have withdrawn their claim twice now, but they still keep trying. So
I
it's got
quit
to be a
bother
bot.
even disputing. As long as it's not striking, as long as it's just doing the flag, I don't care.
Exactly.
And everything gets flagged. I mean, I don't think we've had a show run in the past 3 months that hasn't been flagged, except
No.
maybe Nerd Bacon. But I'm not going to take it. I mean, how boring
Yeah.
is a show based on comics going to be if they flag you every time you show an image? I mean, it's just like it's not worth the
Exactly.
time. And the only time I've ever disputed, well, not ever, but the only time recently I've disputed is Cyber 6, unknown freaking cartoon from what, 80s or whatever.
Yes.
gave me a strike, and they
Mhm.
did it on audio and visual, and YouTube pulled an entire episode of either Sunday Funnies or Zimcast. I can't remember.
That
And they wouldn't let me show or
was
play
Sunday
the video.
Funnies. Yeah,
Oh, it ticked me off so bad.
yeah.
It's like, look, you ought to be
Yeah.
calling me and thanking me for mentioning you, because people will go and Google you. Nobody knows who the hell they are. Like, and we brought a positive attention to you, and then you're going to give me a copyright flag? Oh, man, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, that like copyright isn't broken, YouTube is. Because they're all bots. Like nothing gets checked by any actual person
There's never
until you
verification.
dispute it.
Mhm.
And that's the problem. Like you're always in the wrong until proven otherwise.
But because
Yep.
the Cyber 6 people did flag it, it was from them. The flag was directly from the people. I went ahead and instead of disputing it through YouTube, I just agreed to edit it out. Just cut them out, period.
Yeah.
And that's stupid on their part. I mean, we were promoting
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
You were giving them free publicity and
And positive publicity. If I'd have been saying something negative, maybe, but C was very
Yeah,
positive about
exactly.
it. And the
No,
fact
it
that-
looked great.
right?
I actually looked that show up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Freaking idiots. Go ahead and bite a hand that's trying to feed you.
hmm Lord, I've got a lot of experience with that, but I've raised dogs and cats and other pets all my life, so don't piss off a chipmunk. That's all I can tell you.
Don't piss off a
Oh, yeah,
hamster.
no.
Oh, yes, they got even bigger teeth.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to step away to the restroom. If y'all can
Yeah.
try and get me banned in the meantime, I'll probably get more viewers. So,
No, actually, didn't talk to you guys yet, but I do like Tunita. But I do need you, Daphne, and Nick to just go over the whole thing sometime
Okay.
soon. Just it's gonna be nice and relaxed. Like I want people to have fun because I'm doing it for me. I can't pay
Right.
people. It's just something I want to do. Therefore, I'm doing it. But yeah, just go over it. Like this is the plan. This is kind of my schedule. There is no schedule yet, but
Right.
and,
Look, Dan took himself completely out.
huh? Yeah, the thing is, like, you can literally just stop your camera and you can pop out. So it will just say a bar in like this person is audio only right now, and then in this view they will take they will disappear. But like, yeah, it's gonna be nice and relaxed. Like, I'm fitting the animatic, so the cells into one big thing, so I can work off of that. Which is gonna take a couple of weeks. So that's gonna be my coming hung on animation.
Right.
But yeah, I'm wondering how Nick is gonna fare. Because he was instantly like, I hate hearing my voice. I was like, well,
do
you're not
too.
the only one.
And Daphne
And-
does too.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm very perfectionistic. And I'm like, well, guess what? I'm going to have to deal with what you can at the time. You don't have to put in hours and hours of recording. Like, it's fine. And Chris, yes, of course, Nita is on and your internet is acting up. Your internet does not allow pretty ladies. See,
Yeah,
and it comes back for that.
oh no, I was
Dan's a
listening.
beautiful
I was
one.
listening the whole time, but given what physical activity was going on, I figured I better turn off the microphone. And
Yes.
Joe Dog has drummed into me that I shouldn't leave the chair empty on the camera. So I turn off the camera by habit because that's what Joe Dog wants. So that's what Joe Dog gets.
I did too, but it usually just throws up my avatar. Oh no! Huh? That's
Yeah.
cool.
No. It,
Huh?
No, yeah,
What the hell? This is a StreamYard.
yeah.
Why does my avatar not come up?
because
Don't know.
This view fills up the entire screen.
Mm,
So
gotcha. Gotcha.
So
So
that
instead
way,
of shrinking
yeah.
everybody down into or changing the format, okay.
Hey,
I
So
see.
wait
I
a
always
minute,
hate
Chris.
I
stuff
hate it
like
because I
that,
feel like the
and here you
camera's like,
go, 2 people and 3 people.
Yeah,
It's great.
but I hate the view.
Yes,
there's
2 people works. 3 people not so much. 4 people it works again.
Well, that's
yeah,
because four
because
people
it does
doesn't it go back
condense.
to
And
Yeah.
and Chris, what's wrong with sounding like a redneck? Excuse me. Yeah, I greatly resemble that remark. Thank you. I may sound like I'm educated, but I'm stupid as a freaking stump. So,
The point is, like, that's the worst part. Because you're educated, you're saying that.
no, I actually do talk like that, and occasionally it will, um, shall we say, get more colloquial as time goes by. Now, Mike, if you want me to do more music later on, I would request that you tell me the mood of the scene,
Yeah, of
so that
course.
I don't do something cheerful when it's supposed to be a
Well,
sad thing.
um, it would be once all the voice acting is in, so you can literally follow the entire animatic with the voice actors, and be like, okay, so this works for this scene, stuff like that. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be at least a couple of months, if not longer. Um, and
Oh,
yeah, like, this is a slow burn project, except for on my end.
your audio, your voiceovers might come out better if we can work something out between myself, Daphne, and Nick, and you to all get in a StreamYard and
Yeah.
record,
yeah,
and that way
so
you can stop and go
so
and
that you
edit
can
the
play
video
off
later.
each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we'll be
Yes.
able to play off each other too.
yep.
Yeah, that was my idea as well. But we'll have to see. We gotta figure something out for the schedule. I think it's gonna look like an 6 to 8 minute episode. Um, there's not even that much dialogue, but there are a couple of action scenes that are longer than in the comic. So those are gonna be fun to choreograph. Fuck my life, but
Dude, I'm so happy for you. Like, everybody wants to talk about doing it. Everybody who I know that does sequential has always talked about wanting to dabble in animation, and to watch your progress and to see you doing it's freaking awesome.
well, here's the
Now,
thing, right?
But
I'm one of the youngest guys currently actively doing all kinds of things, or without it being webcomics.
right,
So I'm at the point in my life where everything, like, I'm not set on one thing, because I already literally flipped my whole life around and decided to do comics, quit my day job, and just go for it. And it worked out. So why wouldn't I go into animation, flip the whole thing around, and do it again? Because I'm not even 30. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
just
This is
rub
my
that in
life.
a little bit. I'm
I'm
not
not-
even 30. Get out of here, man.
I know. I sound. I'm a fucking pipsqueak.
hey, it took me till this time of my life, and I will be 65 this year, when I have total freedom.
Yeah.
And in 19 more months, I won't even have to self-edit
I've got 7 more years before I can
work
claim
stuff.
total freedom.
Yeah.
There will be nothing they can do. If I want to say, y'all suck, I can. But right now I have to behave.
Yeah.
But later on, that
I
gauntlet
refuse
is
to
probably
behave.
never going to be thrown down. But I love having the freedom to be able to say whatever I think at any time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I did drop into really southern there at the end of that sentence.
oh, that's the thing too, right? Like, in my construction job, like, I actually have PTSD from it. It was so bad.
Mm.
So
That's
switching to
PTSD
comics.
from comics. What are you talking about?
No, because I'm at the top. They can tell me anything. It's my company. I do what goes. I say what goes.
It's my company to
Mine.
do it. I'm traumatized. I go to bed every night and I'm like, this all the thing. I can hear myself. Like, did I do this? Did I edit that? Did I?
That's where
Did I
this
call
thing
so
comes
and
in.
so? Did I? Dude.
Yeah,
The
no, I feel
the
you. Yeah,
the freedom to
yours
be
is even
yourself
worse.
is the greatest thing ever. Really. And it has taken all my life so far. The only person I have to edit myself around is my mother.
Oh, I
Oh,
never do that.
yeah.
Well, I do because I don't want to hear any more complaints, believe me. I hear enough.
I
Hmm
mean, my mom and I are
That's
very,
simple.
very well
Wait,
set to one another.
just don't answer the
But
phone
yes.
when it's her phone number. I
Mm,
take it our relationships with our mothers are different.
Yeah, it's
I have
it's
a
not
great
it's
relationship
not
with my
answering
mom.
the phone. It's what she says in church with my wife who's sitting next to her. So um,
Oh,
yeah. Mom has a habit of acting like she's aggrieved when nothing nothing
hmm
has gone other than what she wanted. It's well, she's in her 80s and she
She
has a
earned the
right to
right
be
to.
she has a right to be herself too. And it's one of those things where, Mom, um, you remember what your mother-in-law was like? Don't treat my wife
hmm
that way.
I love my
They think,
mother-in-law. I don't feel like I'm under any threat to say that in a live stream. We get along
oh,
great. Mm.
Yeah, I
well,
don't have a
I'm I'm
mother-in-law
I'm
anymore. That's good.
I'm not lucky enough to have a mother-in-law that's still living. So
Yeah.
not any of the three of them. So
Gosh, my luck would be so terrible if anything were to happen.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, oh, life gets so complicated sometimes.
It does.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah,
Sometimes.
really.
Question mark.
Yeah, really.
I
I
mean,
thought
we
about
come out resisting it. We're like
y-
naked and flailing and screaming.
yeah,
hmm
really.
No!
I
That's what
gotta
we
Uh,
get
did.
this done.
And the trauma's so bad we block it out.
what's that old joke? I was born naked and covered in somebody else's blood. Just don't let me go out the same way, okay?
That's literally me right now littering the Radiant site. There was one page in there that was only 144 dpi,
Oh, shit.
which means that it was just over 1,000 pixels tall.
Mm,
It needed to be 3,500.
Jesus.
I am so happy that I'm gonna publish it in A5, which is just
yeah.
under comic size, so it might fix itself after I blew it up.
Hmm
I am terrified because the artist that did the pencils and the inks did it in 144 dpi. Not the colorist, they just colored it. The coloring is okay.
But the why didn't the artist? Is it just the one page?
It's the one page.
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to double check yourselves always
hmm
because errors like that are fucking
I am not
costly.
continuing with this artist. Like, I literally
And it's
cannot.
sad because they're so good, but it's like that's a fuck up. That's a major fuck up.
It,
hmm
I'm
it's
sorry, Dan.
Oh
it's
no,
it,
no, don't apologize. I talk the same way, believe me.
it's the worst part is, like, that is the least of my problems with this artist.
Mm,
These
really?
are the things that happened in the post, and all the extra work. But they were slow, they were unresponsive. They did a good job, and I will never deny that. but working with them isn't fun. It's frustrating, and I
I'm
need someone that I
sorry to
can
hear
rely
that.
on. Because, yeah, I didn't pay them. I don't pay people as much as I'd like to, as much as I would work for.
But still, they
But
should be giving you their best at all times.
yeah,
If you take the
especially,
job, you give your all.
Yeah.
And
like,
or don't take the job. If you think it's beneath you or the pay is too low, don't take it.
yeah, like it's and
You
there's
don't
5 more
even
issues to
pay
do.
for it.
Like, we're talking at someone who can get a very steady long-term job here.
I'm about to reverse sexist your ass like crazy. If you can find a female artist who can meet those standards, I would strongly encourage that because of the type of book you're marketing, it
Yes.
would do wonders for you.
I absolutely would love to. Actually, Kimmy Comics was pretty interested, but she was like, my style is too different. And I was like, well, your style is great, but I cannot afford the page rate that you are asking for right now.
Right.
You
And
know, that is
deserve.
deserve especially.
Sure.
Yes.
However, I'm not
That's
sure if she replied yet. Let me check.
Hey, I know a great little cover artist that would love to do a freaking cover for the Radiant site. It's right up her alley.
Yeah, well, I mean, why not,
And
right?
she's very cheap because she's like 15.
I literally can't afford anything right now. I was thinking of doing a Kickstarter exclusive variant, but I literally don't have the money for
But
anything
here's
right
the
now.
thing, don't that cover's amazing.
Yeah,
Like it's a beautiful cover.
yeah, no, like the
Offer
artist
some
did a
kind of
great job.
print incentive or something like that, or a sticker or something on the stretch goals that are exclusive to Kickstarter. But I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I mean, I
Mhm.
first of all, I've just got to hit this 500 euro goal, and
Right.
I'm all looking at only 14 followers, so most of which are my friends, which I'm cool with. I love them, and I'm very glad we got over 10. But the following is just minimal right now, and it sucks.
But see, here's the thing. I've seen people not do signups at all and blow it out the water. JD,
Yeah.
look at JD Calderon. Take him for an
Mhm.
example. This is the only second time, and the last time he only did like a 3 or 4 day sign up that he's
Yeah.
done a sign up page, and he's always done well with Oswald.
Yeah.
So
And I'm for once, I am actually hoping for the projects we love, because I am sincerely doubting this project because because I'm only the publisher and the letterer. I can talk it up whatever I want, but I can't go in depth about it like the writer can. And Martin did a wonderful job last time promoting it and going through all the live shows while I was doing 4 or 5 day weeks, 4 or 5, 6 days a week on my side job moving furniture.
right.
So I didn't have the energy for anything. And he really promoted the hell out of it, but we still only made 330 euros on the Indiegogo.
But
Mhm.
I really think that's the genre.
It's the genre, it's the platform for sure, like 100%.
That was a platform issue. Like I think you're
Yeah.
going to do far better on Kickstarter.
I literally only need the 500 euros. Everything.
And I'm
is
not
great.
biased to either platform. A lot of people are like,
Oh,
"Oh, you're
no.
biased." No, but there are certain things.
Yeah.
Everything flies on Kickstarter, but there are certain things that don't always fly on Indiegogo.
Exactly.
And
You know.
the manga is one of them. And there's a very
Yeah.
manga-esque style to this comic.
Yeah.
Well, you can't fault the platform for having different
No, that's the audience.
emphasis.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah. And it's so let me get this straight. The writer was working too small. Writer. The artist was working turned in something at too small a scale.
Almost
Yes.
almost
Almost
half
a quarter, actually.
a quarter. Holy shit.
Mm.
So every page was A4, and this page was A6.
Jesus.
The published work will be at A5. So 1.5
You're
times in between either.
you're having to blow up a postcard to a full page.
Yes.
I actually have an example available to show you if I have it on hand. Yes. So it's this to this.
Oh, I love it.
There
Okay.
we go.
So it's manga size.
Yeah, just about.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's going to be manga size. You know, it's, and then to make it relative, like to La Foncora, right, which is A4. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I once had to do something in reverse of that. I had some of my artwork. It was a hand drawn map, hand colored, and it was poster size.
Yeah.
And I had a window box fan that caught on fire,
Oof.
and the artwork, a a quarter to a third of it got turned to ash.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Yep. And
Oh.
this is the map of the planet where a lot of my stories take place. And I
Mhm.
spent ages uh, working out the world building that went along with this. And every dot on the map was a mnemonic to tell me this is something that goes with this story. This place is something to go with this story. And um, it was gone
Yeah.
in a flash. And I found a 3 by 5, might not even been that size, photograph of the map, and I put it in the scanner, and I go, okay, um, let's see what the scanner can do. So I
Mhm.
cranked it all the way up to 2800 DPI,
Mm.
and I wound up with an 8 foot wide
Yeah.
scan of my photograph, and I'm going, I might can do something with this. So I don't. Let me see if I can do
Some
this.
wall art.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
I had to shrink it back down to poster size just so my computer was able to
Yeah.
handle the uh, the, the the amount of data that was there.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
big picture. That's about a
yeah.
terabyte right there.
Oh yeah, and that was before this computer, which is nice and fast. I was looking on. Um, well, I shrank it down to I believe it was 2 by 3 feet, which was about the size of the original. But that was after I had already done um, stuff to recover the original
Mhm.
artwork, and doing it in the computer was nothing like doing it with the art markers that I was using before. But it was quite a challenge. And then when I got something that I was comfortable with, I I tried to print it out, and printing it, there's a big difference between what you see on the screen and the color balance that shows up
Oh, for
on the
sure.
printer.
Yeah.
So I was really disappointed with the color balance, but let's see if I can.
We printed whole comics out and then got
Hmm.
it, and the color saturation was far too dark.
Oh Lord, it
Yeah.
came out um, just because there was an awful lot of stuff here.
And it was like a
Um,
1500 print.
hmm Okay, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this one before. You showed me
There,
before.
there's way the green is way too dark,
Mm.
Yeah.
but I'm not going to redo it. But seriously, there's an awful lot of stuff in here. I mean, let me see. I don't know if you're seeing me scroll around on the thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but all
It's
right,
big.
and yep, okay. Now this area up here with the teardrop shaped lake, that's where all the spaceport bar stories take place. Is in that city. That city is the size of West Virginia in the United States. It's okay, it's complicated. I'm not going to explain the entire mythos or anything. I could go on for days trying to talk about this stuff, but um,
Well, if you ever wanted
it's
upgraded, because I showed you
well,
my world
it's
map before as well. Like I like doing that
um,
a lot.
I have looked into um, actual mapping software, and it turns out I would have to redo everything.
Yeah.
I might be able to turn it into a non-colorized, just grayscale thing to use as a reference thing, but everything else, every little drawing, every little embellishment that I've added to it since I started playing around with it in the computer would have to be redone, and that's
Yeah.
months worth of work.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, you know, I don't really need that headache. I'm trying to write
Yeah.
here. I'm not trying to illustrate. I'm trying to write. This is just me having my mental notes projected on a big screen. So um, there might be a way for me to desaturate it a little bit, make it something that's more like what the actual colors would be if you were to print it out, something in like a fold out page in a book.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need to be that, but that would be great to have it poster size again. And I'm going, well, it's going to be one of those things where I take it to a specialty shop and say, what can you do with this, and hand
Right.
them a thumb drive. But it doesn't need to be done. This is basically my notebook.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to show up in the book. I just have to know all this stuff. And it started off trying to recreate the original piece of artwork that got damaged in the fire, and I went way further than I ever did with the art markers. I mean, because I had 8 by 8 feet I was trying to play with here, so I had all kind of detail. When you shrink it back
Oh.
down to poster size, uh, th- 2 by 3 feet, 2 by 4, whatever it is, 2 by 3, I think it is. Um, there's a lot of detail that got done in the huge thing that no longer shows up anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, the original was poster size. Maybe I should work on it in poster size. Yeah, well, one day I may go back and recolor it
Hmm.
so that it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more printable, and ask somebody to do posters of it. But unless a lot of people start buying the stuff, what's the point? You know, it's
Yeah.
my notebook. Unless I get famous somehow,
Yeah, but everybody loves
like that's
getting
gonna
maps in a
happen.
book. But you could grayscale it for the book,
Yes.
Oh
like,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and get away with that. But definitely include it in the book.
I've
And
I've
that's
done I've done that with the original photograph before I started playing around with trying to recreate stuff from the burnout piece of artwork. I had the original photograph before it got caught on fire, and that's what wound up being grayscaled into the
Hmm.
original book. So, you know,
Yeah, because I love maps being included in books. It helps draw you into the world.
Yeah, like
well, there's a
uh,
lot doing this stuff. It actually inspired a couple of extra stories. So, it's paid for itself already.
For
If it
sure.
if it the detail that I'm going through, trying to do this, that, and the other thing, and I wind up creating something new that I didn't see before when I did the original thing. Because I'm working now in a scale that where the original thing, y- basically, I'm uh, doing Outbreak Duryea stuff on from a postage stamp as poster size. So, and some of the stuff comes out looking more like Salvador Dali than anything else. But I don't care as long as it keeps me generating stories. I'm fine with it. So that's my digression right there. Sorry to sidetrack you.
Oh,
Um,
you're good.
hey, I love what I do, but what I do is sometimes oh, do I need to click on that mic?
mhm.
All right, there we go. There you
So
are.
I showed you before, but I'm not sure if Nita saw this.
No.
This is the world map. Well, this is the continent map for Sage of Sunset.
Nice.
So everything is named, everything, and this is traditionally inked, by the way. So the original is somewhere around this house, and there is only one copy printed ever that I gave to a friend for her birthday because she was the biggest fan of Sage of Sunset after her boyfriend, well, before her boyfriend came around, and they're still pushing me to get this thing out again, and I'm like, it's on hiatus for a good reason. But like, there's like the first book happening here, and
It has a very
then
Skyrim feel.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, there's like uh,
I
a
really like the
complete
style of
roadmap.
it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I can zoom
I
in
love the
forever.
style of it. Yeah.
I think this is A3, and then scanned at 1200 DPI, and then colored.
Hmm.
And I did this one, yeah, back in
Thank you,
2018.
Chris.
Which one? Amen, Nita, or the next one?
The maps make books better, especially fantasy novels and stories.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they
Hmm.
do.
And even an illustration of a character can help. Like just a single illustration, just to get in touch with that,
Yes.
to visualize that dress or whatever.
Hmm.
I am dead set on when the fantasy novel is finished. I'm going to do an oil painting of the wraparound color, the
Ooh.
cover.
Nice.
I have not done an oil painting in ages.
Like how long? Like 20 years?
Closer to 30.
Ooh. So it should be
Ooh.
dry now.
Oh, God
I
damn
hope
it.
I hope so.
Ah.
The last one I did is hanging in somebody's museum. Um,
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
yeah, I've got like four pieces of artwork that are in private galleries around, and
I hate
I
oil.
actually got paid for some of them. Um,
Eh? Wow.
hey,
Ooh.
matter of fact, two of them were on commission. Um,
Mm.
they they told me what they wanted. I gave them what they asked for. God bless their souls. Um, they got what they asked for. Um, oh Lord, one of them. Now the guy that commissioned it, the original commission, and
Right back.
he's a big he's a
Oh,
big Elvis Presley fan. What he wanted was Elvis Presley on a stairway to heaven.
hmm,
That's exactly what I gave him in
hmm.
my own um, inimitable style, which actually did look quite a lot like comic book art, but
Huh. Nice.
um, there's basically this huge stadium with the entire audience in silhouette. The only one lit is Elvis. He is ascending a stairway to the heavenly gates. Each stair
Hmm.
is floating in midair. And the heavenly gates, the highlights were done with glow in the dark paint.
Nice.
Yeah, it was real mixed media. Believe me, there was a in the silhouettes of the audience. It was all supposed to be shades of black, shades, very dark shades of gray,
Hmm.
and the uh, the regular oil that I was using for the oil paint was not blending stuff well enough to where
Yeah.
I could actually get it. So I went out and changed the oil in my car
Hmm.
and saved a little teeny tiny bucket of used crankcase oil and mixed that with the black paint, and it came out fantastic.
Nice.
It took a long time for that piece to dry,
Oh,
but
I
I
bet
once
it
can
it did,
imagine. Yeah.
it was amazing. And like I said, it looks like a frame from a comic book, but that's the kind of style that I fell into at the time. Um, and I'm not saying that in any derogatory sort of way. My mother hates it because I used to do stuff that was photorealism,
Hmm.
and I would
mm,
I would I would work with a 000 Kohinoor pen and dot 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 dot,
mm.
and yeah, and it took months to do more
Yes.
than a few square inches, and mom really liked that, but it was photorealistic, and I
Yeah.
can't maintain that for so long,
Mm.
when I'm working with a paintbrush, it's going to have to be, let me get this, let me get that, let me get that, and I can do, you know things that actually look like photographs rather than things that look like um
Me too, Chris. And blueprints as well. I love
yeah,
Oh,
blueprints.
yeah.
yes. Oh, give me blueprints any day.
Oh Lord. Yeah, Chris. Oh, you'd love some of my notebooks. Let me tell you, you would love some of my note. There's stuff over here that I did before I actually ever got around to writing things.
Chris, do I have to send you my world building on La Fancora?
He would love that actually, and he would probably talk it up enough to where you might sell a few copies independently. Uh, my world and how I built it. Yeah. Um, I
Hmm.
think I think a lot of folks were influenced not only by Tolkien, but a lot of other writers who did work with making maps to show you how to get around the
Yeah.
territories that they wrote about, and it was a big influence on me. Let me tell you. Um, and
And a map's going to show me a lot of thought was put into this.
Yes.
Because when the creator takes the time to create a map, they're using that as a tool for themselves, like estimating the traveling time
Yeah.
and things of that
uh
nature. And that automatically draws me in because as petty and as simple as those details get sometimes, and sometimes some authors tend to overkill it. I like that. I need that in that world.
Yeah.
I need it in any
mm,
world that's going to draw me in. I need a concept of time, and one of the best, like it can, well, the 24-hour day cycles is walking distance.
Yeah, yep. I did that in a steampunk story. Um, there was they had to go from the east coast of the U.S. to the west coast of the U.S.
Hmm.
and it was at relatively the best they could do was about 60 miles an hour. So I went online.
Walking?
No, no, they
Oh, okay.
well, actually yes, they were walking, but they were on a train that walked instead of having wheels.
Oh,
Neat.
wow. Neat.
I told you it was steampunk. Um, it
Oh,
was
you
like
will
it was
love some of
it was
the
like a locomotive caterpillar.
nice. Oh man, that makes me
Oh,
happy.
So I plotted out how far they could get every day, every day, every day. And I also noticed that in the United States, every state in the Union has a town named Greenville.
Huh.
So I just decided I'm going to go with it. I plotted out the distances and how long it would take to get from one Greenville to another Greenville to another Greenville and just kept going.
So I might have a publishing deal for prose books in a steampunk setting as well. So I'm talking
mm,
to that woman right now. We actually met at a fantasy market where she shared a table with us, because the guy I was with um, publishes steampunk as well. So they already knew each other, and she suddenly went, "Where have you been all my life?"
Well, I'll
So
tell
I'm
you,
looking forward to that one.
I started rewriting the end of this one because I had when I wrote the story, I had a strict word limit.
mm.
So I stopped. I put a cliffhanger where
Hmm.
that word limit was, and I turned it in. It got accepted. It was going to be published, and then Kenneth Lee submitted a story after the deadline.
Hmm.
Kenneth Lee's name on the cover of the book would sell many more copies than my name, unknown, on the cover of the book. And I went, yeah, I see your point. And the
Hmm.
guy says, well, if I already paid you, just keep the money. And I go, no, your contract said I got paid when the book got published.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Tell me he did not completely dick you over.
He apologized, but no,
But
my
you
story did
never,
not appeal. My
no,
story did not
in
appeal in the
financial
book,
compensation.
and I did not get paid.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
That's a dick move.
But I kept the rights,
Hmm.
so I can do anything with it I want. And
Oh,
I
shit.
started at the point where I had to end it
Hmm.
and started writing more. And decided, hey, I'm going to make this a little bit longer. It's not going to be
Hmm.
8,000 words anymore. It's going to be however many it takes me to get to the logical conclusion. And uh, I had to put it aside to work on other things that I was getting paid for. So, but I'm willing to get back into it. But that's you know I have to get the ones I'm under contract for, and I have to get the fantasy book done because I want that one out there.
Yeah.
So uh, the big thing is that that was the first story that I wrote where it became apparent that one of the characters was not going to survive.
Hmm.
So I had to go back in and foreshadow and develop that character. So they actually meant something to the reader when they
Yeah.
died. It had an impact rather than just be some straw
Yeah. It's like
man.
done.
Yeah. So yeah, I went in and I had taken lessons to heart from some of the pro writers at LibertyCon. Thank you, David Weber, and telling folks how to kill off a character and have it work for the reader. You build them up,
Mm-hmm.
you make them matter, and then when you kill them, they go, "You son of a bitch!" you know?
Oh yeah, and
Yep,
that's when you know they care.
yep. And I'm gonna have to do that in the fantasy book too. That's why that froze, is because I realized exactly which character had to die in the fantasy book, and I'm going, oh, I'm going to get my house burned down. If I do this,
Oh,
they're going
Daphne
to
Lage
hate
is about to do
me.
that to everybody. I hate her and love her so much.
Yeah, well, I have finally decided that yes, they have to die, and yes, people will already care even if I didn't kill them.
I sent her
But
hate.
these
Yeah.
these things they happen. But no, the
You're gonna
steampunk
too.
the steampunk story has got not one but two romances now,
Hmm.
and it's going to be complete within another 4 or 5 thousand words, maybe, and it has a sequel planned already. And I'm going, this one's going to be different. I can't decide whether to set it in South America or Africa because it is steampunk and the explorer genre of lead characters. So I'm thinking,
Congo.
well, I'm thinking South America because nobody uses that in
Yeah,
steampunk
that's
right
an
now.
yeah.
True.
The Amazon
Yeah,
would be
most
great.
most everybody when they do the big game hunter explorer, they naturally gravitate to Africa because that is the stereotype basically, and I
Yeah.
love turning stereotypes on their head. So I'm thinking um, Amazon
Amazon would be
jungle.
great because then you get to bring in and introduce, natural threats that are in the Amazon, like
Hmm.
the anaconda or the crate. Uh, yeah, that would be really interesting.
Oh yeah, and
Hey.
hey Kiri,
Hello,
hey Kiri,
Kiri.
and Chris, you're being a real killjoy here. I mean,
Don't do
There's
this to
we're
us.
don't do this. We're just talking, Chris. Don't be jealous. Don't be hating.
we're eight.
Do we
Yeah,
need to
how
send
many
you a
times
link
have I done
to?
an 8-hour show where I was asleep? At least let me do
Uh,
an 8-hour show where I'm awake, okay?
just like last time,
No.
just like the first time I dropped in. Suddenly we
Well,
went four
apparently it's
hours.
the first time every time we come in because Dan forgets we were here.
It's called
No,
alcohol,
I
and
don't.
we love it.
No. It's middle age and exhaustion is what it is. Alcohol is very rarely involved.
Right.
Okay, now this is what I'm like at a convention. Um,
Me too.
although there's usually a whole lot more swearing involved. Um, but
Be right back.
all right, I'm gonna step to the fridge, but I'm not gonna kill the camera this time. Um, this beer pixies. They're drinking my, you know. I've got a full one they haven't been able to attack yet.
It's because they don't know how to open
They don't know how to open the fridge. As soon as they learn that, I'm screwed.
it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, so many emails.
oh, tell me about it. Most of mine are for a warranty on a car that I haven't owned in decades. Or um, oh, let me tell you, um, people sending me emails seem to think that I have some um, anatomical handicaps that I wish to overcome. Um,
Oh, really?
Huh.
not only do I, Yes, not only do I not have anatomical handicaps, and reductions are not in the future. Let me tell you, boys, just leave me alone. Quit sending me emails. Lord have mercy. And the newest scam is somebody claiming that there is some problem with the billing of my Netflix account.
Oh, yes, that's my
Ah,
favorite.
I saw that one and I go, now wait a minute. I just saw that money came out of the account. So,
mm-hmm.
that bill got paid. You got a difficulty with getting paid? Uh, and then it kept showing up and it kept showing up. And I noticed it was to a different incoming email address every
Mm-hmm.
time because I
Yep.
own my own website. They they can put anything in front of the at sign with the rest of the website name on it, and it comes directly to me. And I'm going, okay, yeah, that is not a real account. That name does not exist in my website. So, eh, bye bye. You're going to the junk folder. Ah, Lord have mercy. Um, where were we? Romance, steampunk. Oh, ooh. Um, there's one that nobody has seen yet. It is. I came up with this grand, absolutely huge project.
Just a little closer.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
Um,
I was reading Chris's comment.
um, and basically, it was in four parts, and it was an alternate history. It was steampunk. I decided that the main turning point for this alternate universe was Huron of Alexandria actually figured out how to get his little toy steam engine to do work. So the Egyptians had steam powered war chariots,
Nice.
and the Greeks conquered Rome.
Hmm.
And in World War II, the French were the bad guys trying to invade Russia or Germany. So I like turning things on their heads. Um, Now, the lead character in this, it's set, shall we say, okay, let me give you the whole deal. I decided that the traditional H.G. Wells War of the Worlds was the third Martian invasion.
Mm.
Huh.
The first happened during the U.S. War of 1812. The
Mm-hmm.
second happened instead of the U.S. Civil War.
Nice.
The the U.S. was by that time rather balkanized. There were not just one country, but several.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Federated States of America, which is northeastern U.S. You had the Confederated States, which was the southeastern U.S. You had
Yeehaw.
you had the Republic of Texas. You had the Kingdom of Hawaii. You had Emperor Joshua Norton, Emperor of the continental United States and protector of Mexico. You had Canada as their. You had the British East Indies as their own country, but they still had a member of the British royal family as their
Mm-hmm.
administrator, and it was all very libertarian actually. Oh, and some of the bad guys were the People's Republic of Quebec,
Of course.
of course. and
Accurate.
French
there
Canada is best Canada.
and you had the first World War was not really a world war. It was just a European thing, and you were trying to. It was in between the Civil War. The time period of the story was in between the Civil War and the Second World War, and there was a very James Bond villain sort of guy trying to get Europe to attack the rest of the world.
That's nothing new.
No, not at all. But he was trying to do it for his benefit, and you had all
That's
these
nothing new.
Still no, nothing new.
you had all these relics of 3 different Martian invasions that people had learned how to back engineer. What's the word for it? Reverse engineer.
Yeah.
And make their own. Airships were very much a thing. Heavier than air aircraft were unheard of. The second Martian invasion, which happened instead of the U.S. Civil War, was fought with steam powered tanks as well as cavalry and very, very, very good artillery. And it's basically a romance.
Huh.
Yeah. Now I wrote the entire part of part 4, which had the most action, the most interesting bits in it, and then I decided that part 1 and part 2 I didn't really need to write. I just needed to know it. It was backstory. It would not be something the readers needed to know. I still need to finish writing part 3, which is the training of the hero into the secret agent that he became, and basically some of his trainers were the Lone Ranger and Zorro, and it goes on and on and on. Let me tell you. Oh, he learned about poisons from someone in the British royal family who was the chief executive of the East Indies. Hey, I made it work. Believe me, I made it work.
That's awesome.
It is. It really is. I need to finish part 3 so I can just put them out as one book. It'd be about 80 to 100,000 words. I mean, the part 4 is about 40,000, and it's. I have let people read it, and they go, "You son of a bitch, where's the rest?"
That's the best part. And Kira, I'm doing great.
I love doing that to people. Hey, Kira. Yeah, we acknowledged you were here, but I kept talking. I'm sorry.
We're very good at babbling.
No, the comment is only like a minute old, so it's new. It's still relevant. I'm good.
No,
hey,
we're doing great.
We've still got Chris and we've got Kiri. I mean, we're doing great. We're doing great. Usually it's me and Bill and nobody's watching. But
so feel welcome. I hope you're enjoying the show, enjoying the talk. We're just having fun and talking what we're doing, really.
Yeah, really. Now I've monopolized everything long enough. I mean, besides Cora, what are you working on? And the same to you. What are you working on that you want to enthuse about, so you can get people excited too?
Me, there's like plenty, but I can't talk about that much.
Yeah, I'm either under NDAs or ghostwriting.
Oh Lord,
yeah. But I do.
NDAs
I am
suck.
writing. I am writing my own stuff, but I don't really talk about it because I have to write it under a pseudonym, so I don't get harassing messages.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but right now my biggest baby is my YouTube channel, which I'm going to start working on today. I have to go in and edit the comments on every single video we've done in the past 4 months. So that's going to be fun. But my focus is trying to grow the Raging Network so that I have a larger reach to promote independent creators. So that's my baby.
For me, it's the animation pilot for La Cora. So I'm reworking this little book with these adorable creatures
Mm-hmm.
to an animated pilot, which Dan did the intro song for. If you were around to see that, I can share it again if needed, if you want to see it still.
No,
And
I
then
don't think Nita's ever seen it.
No,
And
I haven't seen it.
I
I'll
sent it to you.
It did in Messenger.
Yeah, didn't it show up? Hold
Let
on.
me check. It might not have gone through. I've been having problems sending videos and audio. All right, let's see.
Hold on.
Mike Jimmy.
And
No,
Lord knows
it's
my
not in
ego
there.
doesn't need to
Let
be
me
stroked anymore.
Let me
Why
open
don't
it.
you email it to me?
Yeah, I'll email it
Because
to
for
you.
some reason it's been giving me crap in files with file transfers in Messenger, and like I said, opening MP4s
Mm.
and MP3s for that matter.
But yeah, besides that, I rewrote the first book for Sage and Sunset. I've got a couple of proofreaders who are like, "Oh my God, when are you gonna give us more?"
Mm-hmm.
But I am considering hiring Marv V to do the art because he is a much better fit. It's going to be in black and white anyway, so it's.
You talk about a dude with talent for utilizing empty space.
Yes.
Good
Oh my
gosh,
Lord,
that
he is wonderful, and yeah, like he would fit the story a lot better than I do.
Well, good for you, Chris. I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, and Kiri, we're already like 30 minutes over, so I don't know how much
Yeah.
longer anybody's going to put up with us, but you know, I'm going to
All right,
catch
I
hell
sent it.
because I didn't go to bed tonight, is what I'm going to do.
But
Oh, Lindsay gets so pissed off when she has to come and wake me up out of my chair because I've talked the entire night away and went after the
yeah.
show's over or during the show,
Mm-hmm.
which is more frequent than after the show is over. Let me tell you, I'm
I
amazed that
miss
I've
the
been able to
days
stay
when I
awake.
could sleep in my chair, but I guess it's for the best now because this chair forces me to get up and move sometimes. Whereas the gaming chair, I would recline that sucker and I'd be like,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
all the time.
Yeah, I actually have an ottoman under my desk, which is
I'm
also
jealous.
which works as a kiddie seat as well because she likes to be beside me.
Mhm.
But once in a while, I'll just get a YouTube video going and be like,
Yep. Actually, when Lindsay and I got back from taking the trash off to the landfill and doing grocery shopping in different stores, it wasn't just one stop. We had to go to different places to get everything on the list. And we got back, and she watched a couple of her shows, and I was watching uh, boat videos from the UK.
mhm.
I have become just absolutely enamored of canal boats, and I've been watching that for months. It started off I was doing research for a character,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to know a little bit about what I was going to have him live on a canal boat, and then it turned into this obsession,
Oh yeah, I
and
know that one.
and now my wife is going, hey, when you retire, you can take me back to England and you can buy a boat. And I'm
Mm.
going, oh, tempt me, why don't you? Uh, but no, neither one of us seriously wants to leave the U.S. now. I mean, she's been here for almost 40 years. 40, well,
Wow.
probably longer than 40 years. She's got her U.S. citizenship. She had it long before we ever met. All my family is here. All the conventions we go to are here.
Yeah.
Um,
And see,
it
all
would,
I'm thinking is, man, this sounds like a good reason to leave. This sounds like a good reason to leave. All my family's here. Yep, yep. I can't wait. I'm going to move up
well,
north very soon. It's happening.
For me, like, because comics are so big, especially the kind of comics that I make in the Netherlands, like, I love the United States. I would not be against living there, but there's a life that I have here that I would
Oh, for
not
sure.
never be able to substitute in the United States, even
mm,
with as awesome people as I met
you'd
over
never
the past 2 years.
you'd never be able to duplicate it.
Mm-mm.
No, no,
No, well,
exactly.
what you have is not only what you're used to, but something special.
Yeah.
And I don't I don't doubt at all that you would be able to establish something else
I think you
special
would
over
be
here.
totally be able to establish yourself here, but
You know,
it would be an adjustment, and you're
Yeah.
just now making strides into new endeavors, and
hmm
yeah, no,
and once I retire from the factory, being a writer full time, I can do that
Hmm.
anywhere I've got an internet connection.
that's what I'm saying. First chance I get, I'm
You,
gonna become a Yankee.
Yeah.
I'll move my family to New Jersey.
Oh boy. Now, for
one
me,
day I
like,
got to have a long talk with that girl.
what helps too, like, is the fact that I don't have a driver's license, but
Mm,
in the Netherlands, I can go to a convention every single weekend.
right.
Mm.
There is one literally all around the country, and the most I will have to travel on a train is 3 hours. And then I'm still excluding Belgium and France, which I can get to in 4 to 6 hours as well. It would be ridiculous for me to not use this, right?
For sure.
Yeah, the nice thing about the UK is they do have trains, they do have buses, they do have public transport that actually
And
works.
safe places to ride bikes
Mm-hmm.
here,
Uh, yeah.
Yep. And
even in the cities.
when I retire, I would have enough money to buy a canal boat outright, exactly the way that we want it, and be able to travel the inland waterways uh, from very, very, very close to my wife's hometown in Portsmouth to
Hmm?
almost Glasgow.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it would have to be 6.5 feet wide
Hmm.
and no more than 47 feet long to be able to fit through all the locks.
Yes.
Now we could also afford a wide beam, but then you'd have to go out to sea to get from the southern canals to the northern canals, which has been done and is quite common, and there are ways to do that. It's quite a thing, and I'm going. There'd be I have seen some amazing designs for the wider the
Yeah.
12-foot wide canal boats versus the 7-foot wide canal boats, but all the conventions that we go to are over here,
Mm.
and they're
Mm.
only 3 hours away.
And the UK is a lot smaller on conventions than the Netherlands or the United States.
Mm. Yeah, there were some folks that know in England, I had a hard time convincing her, con- convincing them, not her. There were several, not just one, that you could drop England in between Miami and Glasgow would not be very far up into Kentucky.
Yeah.
Um, it's never mind that the entire country could fit comfortably within Alaska without
Yep.
overlapping anything. Uh, most folks in the South would brag that they had room for England and Texas, but no, not
Not quite.
quite,
No,
not quite. But
you're not
you know,
Russia.
the thing about the U.S. is that there are miles and miles of nothing but miles and miles,
Yes.
Yes.
and a lot of people have trouble really grasping it's 4,000 miles wide and
Mm-hmm.
about 2,000 miles tall, and a lot of it, aside from the coasts, is totally empty.
Just
There's
miles and
Yeah.
nothing there.
miles
There's
of
no
driving.
one there.
Yeah.
And we live in a place in Georgia that is within half an hour of a city, 3 hours of a big city, but our nearest neighbors are cows.
Yeah.
You know,
Mine are
If
alligators.
it- we're out in the boonies. I mean, I often say we don't get the Saturday Night Grand Ole Opry until Thursday afternoon, but speed of light delay is a thing out here, and you know, I really Lindsay has immigrated from England to the U.S. and lived here for many years before we got together. Her children are here,
Mm.
Yeah.
and basically, I don't think she wants to be across the Atlantic from them.
Right.
And I don't want to be across the Atlantic from all my convention friends and my family,
Yeah.
even though I'm getting to the age to where I'm not going to be
Well,
able to
do it as an
drive to
extended
family
holiday and rent
reunions.
a boat.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Do it as an extended holiday when you retire, with every intention of coming back. Just go take 3 months.
Well, yep,
Rent.
and you can hire the canal boats.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's very easy. You just go and hand them a fistful of money, and they go, here's the keys. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to take a test, anything. They
What?
will they will let drunken college kids rent a hire boat,
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Wow.
and trash it out and wreck it several
Get
times.
caught drinking on a boat down here and see what happens to your ass. You'd be better
Oh,
off
tell me
driving a
about it.
car. You,
You
Just
you can
you
you
drink
cannot even
boat
you
and
cannot
leave
even
the
have a
door.
cooler of beer on a boat, whether there's one open or not down here.
Now
just
we
when you're
could
around
have the
London.
alcohol on the boat because of the trip between the bars, like the ones
Mm-hmm.
that are on the, because I mean there's so much marshland in between. There's some places you can't even get to by car. So
Yeah.
they do allow us to have it, but it better be fucking sealed and nobody better be over the legal limit.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like do though, if you're coming around to London, take the Euroline and hop over to the Netherlands because I got a complete living room that I don't live in, and I got plenty of space. Most of my stuff is
Oh,
in this room.
Oh crap! I got a meeting in 15 minutes, guys.
Oh,
I'm gonna
good
bounce.
luck.
I'll see y'all.
all
Good
right.
night, and thank you.
Thank you for being here, Nita.
Bye bye.
I'll talk to you later, Mike.
Yep. One of our friends who is a writer from Atlanta, she has moved to Portugal. She and
Hmm.
her husband have moved to Portugal, and it's beautiful there.
Yes.
Um, and I keep watching all these boat videos, and I'm going, "Oh, that looks like so much fun." But yep, maybe a vacation, and hire a boat, and see whether or not I can stand it. And but it's still way too early for me to want to think about moving permanently anywhere because
Well,
I've
yeah.
got this house, I've got it paid for. I've got an
Well,
acre and a
yeah.
half of land. Um, you know, my mom lives 3 miles away with a 68-acre farm.
Damn.
Yeah, this is the way I grew up. You know, um,
Having an acre of land in the Netherlands is like having top salary because
wi-
that is unique here.
well, my dad bought a 100-acre farm, and we put 3 strands of barbed wire all the way around it. Then he sold it, and we moved back to Tennessee. And 3 months later, we came back to Georgia, and then he bought an 11-acre plot of land and had a house built. And the next door neighbor was a fellow who was wanting to retire, and he and my dad got along real well. So he sold us his entire farm for bargain basement prices. So we
Hmm.
wound up with 68 acres.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Chris is asking who moved to Portugal.
Oh, bugger. If you hadn't asked him, um,
2 minutes ago, he would have known.
yeah, um, uh, Sojourn, not Time Bandits, uh, Jana Oliver.
Hmm.
Jana Oliver. And she's a fantastic writer. Let me tell you, if you get a hold of one of her books, you're going to want the rest of them. I'll tell you that right now. She's addictive. Um, and
I know a few of those.
yeah, I mean, she's like Stephanie. She creates this universe you want to keep exploring.
Those are the
With
best. Yeah.
with Jana's books, you might not want to move there, but you want to keep exploring it as long as you've got your flak jacket and your sidearm and whatnot, because she writes a Demon Trappers series.
Okay. I'll have to
So
look into that.
the paranormal is real and invades downtown Atlanta.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
that sort of thing. And she's gone much further with it than that, believe me. And he's also um, done a variation of the Jack the Ripper unsolved mystery, where there wasn't just one. Now I will leave it at that because she can tell it a whole lot better than I can. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but that was a roller coaster of a ride there in that book. Let me tell you. And here I go. I'm promoting all kinds of people. I
That's a
never.
good thing. That is only a good thing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to do it because there's so many people I admire, so many people whose work I admire, and I thought you had a meeting, Nita.
No, she said 15 minutes. So she's annoying us for a little bit more.
Mm, well,
There we
she
go.
may
She's
be
waiting.
she may be trying, but we've gone almost 3/4 an hour over
Yeah.
the time limit. I'm still awake, which is unusual, unusable. Uh, I can make a plot point out of that. Um, oh, some of my typos turn out to be some of the best things ever if I just run with it.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Still, I'm gonna call it a night, and you're gonna call it a morning.
I'm gonna get some more coffee. It's finished lettering the Radiant site. Get ready for the launch next week.
Yes. Yes, Chris. 5 days to LibertyCon. Oh.
I would have loved to join, but if I get a plane ticket now, I wouldn't be able to pay the rent.
You still couldn't get a membership because it's been sold out for 2 years.
I wouldn't be surprised now.
And the last time it was live, memberships went on sale. 26 minutes later, it was sold out. And that was before they upped the limit from 750 members to 1,000. Now, the extra 250 are people that have been on a waiting list for years. So you've got to really be Johnny on the spot when memberships go on. Now, given how much pain I've been in from the after effects of having shingles, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to tolerate driving long distances.
Fair.
So I don't know how many more conventions I'm going to be able to go to. I'm still young enough, but I cannot. I mean, I don't want to pull up into the parking lot and not be able to get out of the car and walk. You know?
Yeah, no. That is not a good thing.
No. And so I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I have a lot of fun at the conventions. I get to network with a lot of people. I get to meet and talk to an astounding number of folks from all different walks of life. And it's just going to LibertyCon is like going to a family reunion.
Yes.
I do not want to give that up. And it's going
the
to take
same with Dutch Comic Con.
It's going to take an awful lot to force me to not go back again. But I am no longer a spring chicken. So when the time comes, I'm actually going to really regret having to give it up. But that means that there'll be 2 extra spaces that other people can get memberships and discover how much fun it is to be there, and all the different people and everything else, and the family atmosphere, which is really what makes it, and that's what makes it so difficult to get a membership, is because it's family, and the family goes, "Hey, I'm in." You know, I keep talking when I'm trying to shut up, but it just doesn't seem to happen. And this is what I'm like at a convention. You know, I don't talk this much in my normal everyday life. I mean, that yeah, I'm in control. I control the horizontal, the vertical, and can bring everything to a razor sharp focus or can fuzz it out completely. Whatever it is, outer limits used to say. But I'm going to wish you a good night.
Go get some rest, man.
I'm going to go to bed. Let's see. Let me get to the outro here. Okay, folks, we're going to tell the bedtime story about now, and thank you for joining us. And we hope to see you at least once next week, if not the twice that you are used to. And God bless. Thank you for being here.
Lovelies.
Bye-bye.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. 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 System will shut down.